Hello and welcome to your face massage practice. This particular session, we're going to be looking at relaxation. So I'll be focusing on common areas of tension and tightness, but also areas that might help to enhance and promote those feelings of calm. So this will make a perfect practice for you to add to your evening routine to help you sleep and relax, but also anytime you need to reset. So to prepare for this, all you need is a clean face and any simple oil. Things like olive oil, grapeseed oil, jojoba oil, those kinds of things. Coconut oil can work as well. But something simple and light, or your favourite face oil. So that's all you're going to need to practice today. And so, starting with a clean face, I'm going to prepare by getting some oil into my hand and letting it sit there. So a good few drops, letting it sit there to warm up. And while you do that, you just want to bring yourself to your space. By kind of becoming aware of your posture, becoming aware of how you're seated, how you are seated within your space. And then finally taking 3 deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Last one, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And as you've let that oil sit there, it's probably become a little bit warmer. We're going to rub our hands together and pat it on to the face. This will just create a bit of glide whilst giving the skin a bit of nourishment. Go down just to the first part of the neck as well. Okay, now we're ready to begin. So for our opening and closing kind of movements, I want this to be intuitive for you. So do something that feels good to you. So this can even look like circular motions all across the bottom part of the face. Circular motions are nice to kind of break up tension and get your hands used to your face and getting used to the touch. The circular motions all over the face if that feels good to you. Same, using the fingertips to create circular motions on the forehead if that's where you are. Sweeping motions as well. Alternating or doing one side at a time, using the fingertips or just the tips of the fingers. Sweeping motions. Always from the centre outwards, not really going from the outside to in. Maybe going upwards, stroking as well, lifting the skin upwards. Maybe like press and release. So pressure, adding some pressure and releasing and letting go, if that feels good to you. But here, anything goes. Anything that might feel nice to you, that might feel relaxing to you, releasing, grounding. And so these are just examples of things that you can do. So circular motions, stroking and sweeping strokes, or press and release with fingertips. But all the while that you do this, keep your breath steady, smooth, long and easeful. And here, one thing throughout, you want to keep the speed slow. Slowness is the key here. And once you're done, let's start towards the bottom of the face first. So the jaw and just under. So that bridge where the jaw meets the neck. We'll do one side at a time. Here what I want to do is circular motions in just that area, a good pressure, because this part of the face can take it. So using the fingertips, circular motions from the chin out to the bottom of the ear. And then a gentle slide back. Two more. Last one. And we're going to do the same under the jaw as well. So going from the centre of the chin, circular motions out. Steady and smooth breaths. Gentle slide, light slide back to the middle and circular motions out. Sliding back and again. Two more like this. One more. And release the hand back down. Same on the other side, so chin outwards along the bottom part of the jaw, so close to the edge. Circular motions from the chin out to the lowest part of the ear. Good pressure. And let your breath be easeful. Slide back. And again. Two more. Slide back, one more. And moving on to under the chin, under the jaw. The chin out, from the chin outwards, circular motions. Medium to firm pressure depending, but here it's probably a little bit more delicate. Sliding the hand back when you're done. And again. Two more. One more. And release the hands. Last little bit around here, want to be using the first two fingers make them into a little bit of a claw or a hook. What we want is the two knuckles to fit the edge of that jaw from the chin out and stroke. So you can use a firm pressure here as well, but finding what feels good to you here. A slow and stable slide from the chin out to the sides of the face. Last one. Do the same thing on the other side. So making a hook with two fingers and placing the edge of the jaw between those two knuckles. And then slow, stable, maybe a firm stroke out and chin. stable and smooth breath. Two more. One more. And release. Now both hands run up the sides of the mouth, up the sides of the nose. And we're going to just bring some space and breathing room, I guess, from the sides of the nose, using the flats of the tops of the fingers, from the sides of the nose out, under the eyes, and across to the bottoms of the temples. Just a few sweeping strokes to open up the face from the sides of the nose, not too close under the eyes, but probably more on the under eye bone. And spread and stroke, sweep the fingers out to the sides. Again, allow that breath to be full, smooth. Really feel into that sensation. Couple more. Last one. And release. We're going to continue that movement from under the eye to the top of the eye as well. So just above the brows. So using the tips of the fingers again, I like to use maybe just a couple of fingers, because these kind of like more thinner parts of the face require like a single finger, and then you can start to introduce more fingers underneath. Or if you like a lighter touch that feels better for you, feels nicer for you, you can do that as well. So going from the sides of the nose once again, I want to sweep across the under eye bone, circular, coming down the sides, just over the brows, and then down the center of the nose before you come off again to come to the sides of the nose. So making a big circle around each eye, both hands at the same time. Less fingers as you come to the bridge of the nose, more under the eye, a little less around the sides of the temples, more above the brows, less at the bridge. So making a circle. The pressure here is up to you. If a more firmer pressure feels more releasing, go ahead and do that, but don't drag the skin. Or if a lighter touch feels more relaxing, go ahead and do that. But always slow speed. Just a few more like this. Eyes softly closed, that feels good to you. And release the hands back down. Take a breath here. I'm going to introduce movement to the temples. The temples, again, key area of tension. Here you can use a firm pressure, maybe the first two fingers are good. But you want to just hold and press in that fleshy dip of the temples here. So maybe the first two fingers, or whatever two fingers that feel good to you. Press. Breathe. And on the next exhale, slowly release that pressure and let the fingers come off of the skin. Introduce circular motion. So circular motions in whatever direction feels good to you, but slow and firm pressure. Seeing if you can loosen the jaw, loosen and relax the tongue, and slow, smooth breath. And slowly coming to release that pressure a little bit, slow down and let the fingers come off of the skin. One last point between the brows. So using the index fingers if it feels good, probably a more ideal size anyway. Coming to just either side, right at the top of the bridge of the nose, where it meets more of the face. But the fingers are actually located more to the side rather than on top. Another pressure release, so pressing, holding, and breathing. Smooth and steady breath. On your next exhale, slowly release that pressure. Let the fingers come off of the skin. Take a breath here. We're going to finish up by adding some pressure and support around the ears. So the ears are a much lesser supported feature of the face and head, but they contain so many nerve endings that really help to relax. So here, I want to use maybe the index fingers and the thumbs if that feels good and feels kind of more stable and practical for you. You want to be using circular motions all over the ears. So if you need to add some more oil at this point, go ahead and do that. But what we want is using gentle, very gentle, light touch, circular motions all around the ear, using the index finger and the thumb as the pressure and the meeting points, including this front part of the ear, going all around the ear, and breathing softly. Slowing down the breath, slowing down the movement, circular motions all around the ear. If you want to do both at the same time, you can as well. So circular motions, using index finger and thumb as your pressure and meeting points all around the ear, including the lobe, the front of the ear, the part that meets the face. Very slowly, with a smooth and easeful breath. Just a couple more rounds of your breath here. And as you get down to the lobe, maybe a gentle press of the earlobe, release and bring the hands back down. Steady and smooth breath. I'm just going to seal all of that in with those same intuitive movements that feel good to you as we did to begin with. So circular motions all over the face. Or maybe stroking motions using the flaps of the fingers across the face. Or maybe a pressure and release all over the face. Smooth and steady breath. And And as you finish that, bringing the hands back down to the body, taking 3 last breaths here, in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth, letting everything go. Last one, in through the nose, and out through the mouth. If the eyes are still closed, drop the head slightly, blink the eyes open. Bring the gaze up, taking in colour, shape and light. So I hope that was supportive practice for you. Use this anytime you need it, and I'll see you next time.